Good morning, televiewers, and welcome to My Media Prime Television. It is Prime Flash. I am Dolly Ngonde for presentation. Let's begin today's edition of information as we start with this, where Anglophone detainees at the Yaoundé Central Prison, Ngwa, have addressed a letter to the state prosecutor with regards to the illegal extraction of some detainees from the prison. Tita Tebit and Chesist Hamlet Fonge John are three of the Anglophone detainees taken away from the prison to unknown destinations since October 13th. The detainees in their letter have revealed this is not the first time of such illegal removals, and adding that the victims who usually make it back give complaints of starvation and horrible torture. Meantime, a collective of teachers' trade unions have written against the forceful vaccination of government staff in Cameroon. In a letter addressed to the President of the Republic in this regard, the trade unions say no legal disposition has been made or adopted by the Parliament to make the vaccination process mandatory, as it is being done with civil servants. They have equally threatened a nationwide strike action should it persist. And on to this lead story, over 12 human rights lawyers are now battling to secure the freedom of a pregnant woman, Antoinette Kongsa, who was arrested and detained in the Boya Central Prison, southwest region of Cameroon. The lady, who was arrested in connection to a relationship she is said to have had with a kingpin leader of the non-state armed group fighters in the northwest region, who goes by the name General No PT, is a 25-year-old whose arrest has won widespread condemnation in and out of the country. So far, the lawyers have decried gross violation of human rights against the detainee while pursuing the legal battle for her freedom. We now talk something related to education, where the newly admitted students into the Higher Institute of Business Management into the Higher Institute of Business Management have begun receiving free career counseling and orientation sessions for the 2021-2022 academic school year. While we hope for that report to be developed, let's now talk something else, where at least 60 persons have been arrested here in Douala by the police in a raid. The mixed security operation carried out at the Bipanda 5 neighborhood in Douala has seen over 11 commercial bike riders and close to 60 civilians carted off, not only having their national identification papers. Meantime, security has been heightened around major public areas in town like schools, seaports, markets, and the airport. We now take you back to this story, where the newly admitted students into the Higher Institute of Business Management and Technology, HIMAT Douala, have begun receiving free career counseling and orientation sessions for the 2021-2022 school year. Let's now get details in the following report. At the dawn of the 2021-2022 school year, a fresh intake of students at the Higher Institute of Business Management and Technology, HIMAT Douala, are currently receiving free career counseling and orientation sessions offered them by the institution. In strict compliance to COVID-19 barrier measures, this year's edition, like others, begins with the holding of a holy mass and prayers dedicating the institution and the academic year into God's hands, as officiated by the Reverend Father Peter Mukwali. While opening the orientation exercise, the president of HIPMAT, Mr. Chilaka Jude, has briefed the students on a wide range of spectrum, including this.
Briefing them on the history of our beloved University Institute, HIPMAT Douala, and of course our mission and objective as an accredited university institute, and cautioning the students on how to conduct themselves as students studying in a university institute. We are happy to say that HIPMAT has been blessed with beautiful accommodations, accommodating our students Year 1, Year 2, and Year 3 students.
Talking to the Dean of Studies, Madame Gloria, the importance of this orientation exercise is being told.
So this orientation exercise today is meant to educate them on what to expect as a banking and finance student, on what to expect as an accounting student in HIPMAT, on what to expect as a project manager from HIPMAT Douala.
Affiliated and mentored by two great state universities, the president of HIPMAT, Mr. Chilaka Jude, while mentioning their bilateral ties, also expresses profound satisfaction.
HIPMAT is equally being mentored by two state universities, the University of Boya and the University of Bamenda. The University of Bamenda mentors HIPMAT for the BTech Professional Bachelor's of Technology degree program, and of course the Professional Master's degree program. The University of Boya mentors HIPMAT for the Classical degree program for all our business programs.
After being drilled by a cross-section of speakers, including a representative from the Dangote cement factory, amongst others, the new students say this is how far they've been transformed after today's session.
Today was a good experience because it's the first day of school and the orientation is going well. They're training us, explaining us the thing of the rules and regulation of the campus. So it's a good experience, this orientation.
It was constructive. I learned many things about project management, other courses. It was so interesting.
The exercise, which is due to run for the next couple of days, is expected to get the students abreast with the new learning environment. And still in line with reactions flooding in over the brutal murder of the 5-year-old Caroline Diale, who was unjustly killed in Boya, Southwest region by a gendarmerie officer while on her way to school, the Social Democratic Front movement, the SDF party, says that the murder of the young girl is a reminder of the steady decline in law enforcement in Cameroon. John Frundi, in a communique, says that the New Deal government of Paul Biya should be held responsible for all these unfortunate happenings. And the SDF has said such events only remind the society that the ongoing armed conflict in the northwest and the southwest regions is long overdue. Meantime, he has called on both state and non-state actors to declare a ceasefire and engage in meaningful dialogue that will address the root cause of the conflict. And still in line with petitions, the President of the Northwest House of Chiefs, His Royal Majesty Fon Yakum Kevin, has called on competent authorities to investigate and establish facts leading to the death of the principal of Government High School Pinyin by name Mr. Teneng Walter. The principal is said to have died following obscure circumstances in Yaoundé. There are claims that he was faring well in a social event and suddenly fainted and died, while others suspect he must have been physically attacked by unknown persons. You are watching the 10:30 a.m. Prime Flash on My Media Prime Television. We keep you in the company of information where some 8 missing vehicles retrieved from thieves in Douala have been kept at the Bonanjo Judicial Police Station pending identification and collection. The cars, which were recovered since October 4th, 2021 in the localities of Pont Bonabasem and Bonaberi, according to this communique, include a Toyota Hilux pickup, 2 Toyota Corolla 3s, and a Toyota Corolla 107, 2 Toyota Corolla RAV4s, a Toyota Corolla Carina 2, and a Toyota Corolla Carina 3. And out of that, we now talk where Cameroon has been ranked the 16th most attractive country for investors in Africa, according to the rankings done by the Deloitte firm and Africa CEO Forum. Occupying the top 5th spots according to the classifications are Ivory Coast, Kenya, Ghana, Senegal, and Rwanda, respectively. On the 50th spot as the least attractive country for investors, according to the rankings, are Cosmos, Ireland, Lesotho, Eritrea, and Burundi. And on our health page, October 1 to 31 is commemorated yearly as Breast Cancer Awareness Month. With about 7.8 million sufferers worldwide, this month is set aside to educate people around the globe about the causes, the symptoms, prevention, and treatment that can be given to individuals on how to combat this disease. The Congo Worthy tells us more in the following report.
Focused on accelerating research and providing vital support all year round for breast cancer, especially in the month of October. Breast cancer
is a disease which occurs when breast cells grow at an abnormal rate or they start growing uncontrollably. The main cause of breast cancer is not well known, but yet there are some factors known as risk factors which can predispose an individual or make him more prone to having breast cancer.
Though the cause for breast cancer is yet unknown, triggers to watch out for include:
Number one, being female. So far, research has proven that more women have been diagnosed with breast cancer than men. The second predisposing factor is having a history of breast cancer. If you've had breast cancer before, you're more prone to having breast cancer again. Another predisposing factor is when a member of your family has once had breast cancer. You're more likely to have breast cancer than an individual who has never had a history or whose family member has never had a history of breast cancer. Also, having children at a late age for the females, when you have your first child at above 30 years of age, is a risk factor. It makes you more prone to having breast cancer. Another predisposing factor is when you started menstruating quite early, that is 12 years. When you had your menarche is your first period. When you had your first period quite young, 12 years or below, you're more prone to having breast cancer.
And many more.
Some other predisposing factors to breast cancer include obesity, exposure to radiation, heavy alcohol consumption, heavy smoking, advanced aging, and also post-menopausal hormone therapy. But you must note that both men and women can have breast cancer.
With symptoms that include nipple discharge, lump in breast, change in breast in nipple color, skin dimpling, swelling of all parts of breast, the 5 years estimated survival rate for breast cancer depends largely on early diagnosis as well as healthy lifestyle.
Stay away from the risk factors. For example, try as much as possible to maintain a healthy weight. Change your diet, that is, adopt a healthier diet. The best diet is a Mediterranean diet. What's a Mediterranean diet? It's a diet in which you have more vegetables, fruits, and nuts. Also, try as much as possible to do at least 30 minutes of exercise a day. If you can't do it for all the 7 days in a week, you can try for 3 days, 4 days, or as much as you can. But minimum is 30 minutes of exercise a day. Also, reduce alcohol consumption and smoking.
According to the World Health Organization, prolonged breastfeeding, regular physical exercise, avoid excessive radiation exposure, amongst others, are some methods to help reduce the estimated 43,600 women to lose their lives this year to breast cancer.
Okay, Ngwa, on that report, we still talk breast cancer, where adult women of all ages have been encouraged to by health experts to perform breast self-exams in order to be able to identify breast lumps, which are a possible cause to breast cancer. Eileen Sama tells us more in the following report.
The month of October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, observed every year with self-examination of breast cancer and screening steps campaigns run across the world by governments, institutions, and international bodies as a combat against the deadly disease. Note here that breast cancer is a type of cancer in which the malignant cells or the cancer cells get formed in the tissues of the breast and is the most common types of cancer in women. It is relevant to state that, according to gynecologists across the world, every woman should have the essential knowledge of breast cancer and self-examination. According to medics, the process is quite simple, but these highlighted factors are worth looking for when carrying the exercise.
You start by going to the mirror, removing your clothes, and then you lift up your arms and look at yourself. You put your hands on your waist. Turn to one side, turn to the other, and let your breast hang. Always looking at your breast. What you're looking for is to see if the nipples retract, if you look at any masses bulging out, or if there is any dimpling on your breast. You start touching your neck. You're looking for lymph nodes, the upper part of your chest. Continue behind your arm and in the axillary area. And then you continue with your breast. Feel your breast down until and all over until you cover the whole breast, and then you can touch the nipple areolar area. What you're looking for is to see if there are any masses that you can feel, any dimples or anything abnormal, anything that doesn't feel like the rest of your body.
The medic advises that if any abnormalities or lumps and masses are felt, seeking a doctor's help is primordial.
If you find any abnormality, you can always go to your doctor. Remember, you can always mark any part where you feel any pain or any masses, anything that feels different than your breast.
She adds that examining both sides of the breast is key in the exercise.
And then you feel the back of your arm, the axilla area, and then you feel your breast in a circular motion from low to medium pressure, and then you repeat on the other side. So remember, if you feel anything abnormal, you can go visit your doctor.
Be reminded that amongst all known cancers, breast cancer is the most common cause of death in females, and breast cancer examination familiarizes an individual with his or her size, shape, and texture of the breast. As such, making self-examination vital to reduce down the risk.
And in sports, Cameroon's female volleyball team has penned a letter to the president of the Volleyball Federation of Cameroon, Julien Serge Abouem, asking for better bonus packages. The Cameroon volleyball girls, now 3 times African volleyball champions, say the rewards they have been receiving for the services to the nation are insignificant. They stated that the bonuses are often paid later than expected. The letter written to the Federation has been signed by the team captain, Noel Tamnjong, insinuating that they need a raise from the 300,000 francs Olympic bonuses and the over 1.3 million participation bonuses. We now take you out of Cameroon, where a pregnant woman is amongst 8 people who have been wounded in the airstrike in Mekelle, the main city in Tigray in northern Ethiopia. The director of emergency services at the city's AIDS hospital said that 5 of the women, or of them, including the woman who is in the 9th month of her pregnancy, were being treated at his hospital. A Central Committee member of the Tigray People's Liberation Front, TPLF, Professor Kindeya, said the airstrikes took place at about 10:25 local time AM in the center city. And in Nigeria, small demonstrations have been held across the country's major cities to mark 1 year since the security forces violently suppressed mass protests against police brutality. At least 6 people were arrested during the demonstration in the commercial hub of Lagos. Last year's rallies, the largest in Nigeria's recent history, began by calling for the disarmament and the disbanding of the specific anti-robbery squad, but escalated into the protests over bad governance. And on to this, one of Ghana's most popular singers, Shatta Wale, has been arrested after he said he was on the run over fears for his life. He had posted on Facebook that his life is in danger. The police accused him and 2 others of spreading false information over an alleged gun attack on reggae star. Shatta Wale is best known for his collaboration with Beyoncé on her Lion King album, which expanded his fan base across Africa and the world at large. And looking at news from a global perspective, former U.S. President Donald Trump has announced plans to launch a new social media network called Truth Social. He said the platform will stand up to the standing times of big technology, accusing them of silencing opposing voices in the U.S. Social media played a pivotal role in Mr. Trump's bid for the White House and was his favorite means of communication as president. Even though Mr. Trump was banned from Twitter and suspended from Facebook after his supporters stormed the U.S. Capitol. That brings us to the end of today's edition of Prime Flash. I have been Dolly Ngonde for presentation. Ngwa Desmond has been on production. Faith Tata has coordinated the news, and general supervision came from Kum Unit. Up next is In the House with Eileen Sama. Stay glued to your screens.